This was massive. A mini budget turned maxi, the biggest tax cuts in half a century. A brand new economic bar.
Can we afford these tax cuts, Chancellor?
In a huge gamble for growth. A Conservative Chancellor ripping up his predecessor's rulebook.
We need a new approach for a new era, focused on growth. Our aim over the medium term is to reach a trend rate of growth of 2.5%.
With that aim came a stream of measures staggering in size and significance.
Next year's planned increase in corporation tax will be cancelled. The increase in employer national insurance contributions and dividends tax will be cancelled.
A clear boost for business.
Thank you.
A Chancellor pleased with himself and with an attempt to please the city too, scrapping the cap on bankers' bonuses.
We need global banks to create jobs here, invest here, and pay taxes here in London. In London. Not in Paris, not in Frankfurt, and not in New York.
The Cabinet in agreement. The PM poker-faced, but this mini-budget shock and awe.
Mr. Speaker, I have another measure.
Tax cuts galore, with one big surprise, the 45 pence top rate of tax scrapped.
I'm not going to cut the additional rate of tax today, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to abolish it altogether. From April the 23rd, we will have a single higher rate of income tax of 40%.
A big bung for the top 1% of earners, but something for everyone else too.
I can announce today that we will cut the basic rate of income tax to 19 pence in April 2023, 1 year early. That means a tax cut for over 31 million people in just a few months' time.
This a government in office but weeks, rewriting budgets of Tory chancellors past, balancing the books, giving way to tax cuts and borrowing.
A new era.
For Labour, jeering and jibing typical to this Commons chamber. But these economic times far from typical.
Where have the last 12 years left us? Lower growth, lower investment, lower productivity, and today we learn that we have the lowest consumer confidence since records began. The only things that are going up are inflation, interest rates, and bankers' bonuses. And borrowing.
Not having any of it, but it is that borrowing causing concern on the PM's own backbenches.
Growth and cutting of taxes are true Conservative principles. So is balancing the books. By my calculations, the deficit this year, based on his announcements, will be in the region of £250 billion.
This man in the Treasury just months ago, not so sure either.
Clearly, there is an immediate cost, but the value in terms of the growth and the revenues that will come are, at the moment, a presumption.
The government just added £70 billion to the deficit in one swoop.
These are significant sums of money.
Does it worry you?
Of course it worries me. The cost of borrowing, the uncertainty around the increasing cost of borrowing.
This is a hugely significant fiscal event, not just in the substance of the borrowing and tax cuts, but in the politics of turning the Conservative Party consensus on how to run the economy on its head. Liz Truss backers tell me that there was no other option, that they have to go all out for economic growth. But her detractors are worried that she could trash the Conservative Party brand and cost them the next election. One MP said to me, "I'm scared. I'm worried they're going to tank the economy." So this party very split on the plan, but what everyone can agree on is that it's a huge political risk.
Wow, she's got a lot of experience.
This a Chancellor in the job just weeks, announcing policies and tax cuts not seen for decades. Both the PM and Chancellor this afternoon out of London with business. There will come a point where it's not just business that matters, but ordinary voters too. Beth Rigby, Sky News in Westminster.